You know what's the worst thing about this time of year? People moving away. This is the time of year where people get transferred for their jobs or people take new medical residencies. And what that means is there's always beloved people who are part of Coram Deo who are moving to other parts of the world. That's happening again this May, June, and July. And what it means is we need 20 new Coram Deo Kids volunteers to fill the gaps that those people are leaving behind. And so I need you to be part of the solution to that problem. Would you reach out to Kelly Greening to volunteer one service, one Sunday per month? It's a pretty simple sacrifice, simple ask to make, but it's a huge blessing in serving and discipling the 350 kids we are responsible for as a church. So I hope you'll step in and fill some of those gaps that very beloved, wonderful people are leaving behind as God takes them to other places in the world. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news these past couple of weeks, you've seen that on campuses all over America, there have been these Free Palestine protest movements. Many of them have been rather anti-Semitic. Many of them have been rather violent. And as usual with any protest, they're all getting caught up in all of our cultural commotion about, is this protest valid or invalid? Is it peaceful or not peaceful? Is it justified or not justified? And apart from all the questions that I'm not going to answer related to all those things, here's what I want you to notice as a Christian. What those protests reveal is the deep need human beings have for a cause, for something transcendent, for something to give their life to. What I've noticed is that as our culture is less and less Christian, as it's less and less religious, as there are less and less convictions for people to hold on to that are transcendent and beyond us and speak to another world, that gap doesn't just remain unfilled. It gets filled with political movements or protest movements or some cause in this world in the imminent frame that begins to capture our longings to give ourselves to something. And what that reminds me of, as I hope it reminds you of, is that only the gospel, only Jesus Christ can fill that place in our souls. Only His cause can really demand our full allegiance and attention. And only when we're given over to Him can we then meaningfully engage in and solve some of those questions and problems that are on the surface right now in lots of those debates and discussions in our culture. So I hope as a Christian, you're not just being pulled into the point-counterpoint. You're not just being pulled into your social media timeline of people who commend or critique these protests, but rather that you're seeing with kingdom eyes what they reveal about human beings and the things they show us about what it means to be made in the image of God and the opportunities that exist for us to proclaim and declare the gospel in the world we live in. That's what's on my mind this week. I hope it helps you think about how the kingdom of God speaks to life in your world. I'll see you next week for another weekly update.